So the number of generals that Trump is putting on his team is adding up. What does that say to you about the priorities around cybersecurity and how they might act on them?
Yeah, it certainly says that Trump is taking national security very seriously. I think the challenge is that on the one side, Trump's going to have a set of advisors who understand how big a challenge cybersecurity is. And on the other hand, President-elect Trump has been out talking a lot about the fact that he wants less regulation, not more. And so that's going to be a real challenging balance for the administration, I think.
Now, Trump will be meeting with tech leaders in Washington next week, including Cisco CEO Chuck Robbins, Oracle co-CEO Safra Catz. What do you hope their message is to him on this particular issue?
On the cybersecurity issue, I would hope that the message that would get conveyed is the importance of continuing a public-private partnership to better protect companies and enterprises and basic pillars of the American economy. I think we recognize, and I think President-elect Donald Trump is recognizing that he has things to learn as far as policy, and I think he can learn a lot from leaders in Silicon Valley.
There's an unprecedented level of threat at this point affecting things that were never affected before. And I'm curious, we've seen a rise in particularly non-malware attacks. And I wonder, what kind of companies do you think are best able to combat these kinds of attacks, and what kind of companies can't?
Well, Carbon Black is a leader in this next generation of cybersecurity, and we're helping hundreds of companies across the globe every year with the challenge of cyber attacks. The attacks continue to advance against consumers and against companies every year. And as you said, one of the big attack vectors these days is actually attacks that don't even drop a payload. They're actually using software that's trusted already in the environment, communication protocols that are already trusted. That's a real challenge for traditional players. If you look at cybersecurity and the companies that have been around for a long time, like Symantec and McAfee, it's a real challenge for them, given the way that they've built their products over time to combat these new types of attacks.
Speaking about IPOs, just a moment ago, Bloomberg has reported that you've hired banks to explore an IPO. I know you've taken a number of other companies public. Do you see an independent Carbon Black as being the best path for the company, and where do your plans stand?
Yeah, we at Carbon Black, we're focused on helping our customers better protect their organization from cyber attacks. And we as a company, our mission is to build a great standalone cybersecurity company that's helping these companies across the globe. Public markets, private markets, how you capitalize your company, it's all steps along the way to ensure that you can build something that is really helping customers in a meaningful way. And that's what we've said externally, and that's the message for my employees and for my customers.
A number of Silicon Valley companies have been pushing off the idea of going public.
That's right.
Uber and Airbnb now have massive decacorn valuations, and they say they're not close. Is that the right attitude, or should they be taking the plunge?
Again, I think the decision as to whether or not to go public or to stay private, to continue to drive growth, is really on a company-by-company basis. And as you said, it's always a balance between growth and profitability and what your mission is as a company. And so each company is making their own decisions. Of course, the markets have something to say about that. Markets look at growth and look at profitability in different ways at different points. But if you're building a great standalone company, and certainly cyber is an area where there's a tremendous amount of growth going on right now, if you're building a great company, your ability to tap either the private or the public markets is there.